beat. Connect and enjoy moments of celebration.
Now, 947 is bringing you closer to your local music and artists. The 947 Gig Guide is where you'll find weekly updates of your South African artists and bands, music festivals, and great performance experiences.
If you're a muso yourself, 947 is giving you the platform to promote your upcoming events and keep your fans updated on where they can catch you.
To find the 947 Gig Guide or to submit your info, go to primemediaplus.com.
Or email gig-guide@947.co.za and keep listening to 947 to hear where your best of South African artists are performing.
947, supporting SA music in your city.
#MSW.
You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Jerome Damon joins me on the line.
Good evening. I am toasting. I am celebrating because I got onto MSW.
I'm happy. I'm going to be toasting more than you are going to be toasting. It's just that they're toasting you right now.
I'm very happy to chat with you again.
Winning the game. No problem. But winning clear because it was not a game. It was a role.
It's going to be very, very hard to prove because they are making the allegations. They need to bring evidence to suggest that to support their allegations. I mean, if you think about it, this is the very same referee who just come off refereeing the Africa Cup of Nations final.
Yes.
So surely, and it's a referee who's aspiring to referee in the World Cup.
Can we not discuss Kaizer Chiefs today? I think it is clear what's going on. Let's discuss Kaizer Chiefs once they win.
Let me take Louis in the Val wanting to talk to us about Kaizer Chiefs. They said we shouldn't.
No, Chiefs, I just need them to work a bit hard because we badly need them in the top 8 final, in the top 8 competition because I'm a Sundowns supporter. So top 8 without Chiefs, it's not going to be exciting.
Well, why not? Why not try it? Because if they're not exciting in the season, they shouldn't just save it for a top 8.
They must work more harder, or maybe they must try to get another experienced coach because Johnson is actually struggling with the squad, you see.
Yeah, I don't think it's a Johnson thing. I don't think it's a Kevin Johnson problem. I think it's a Kaizer Chiefs problem. For 10 years, no trophy, then it becomes a Johnson problem. It's impossible.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
Well, if you're in and around Gauteng and you're heading home, please make a U-turn. You're not allowed to. You're allowed to just go to one place. If you're in and around Gauteng and you are going home, I repeat, make a U-turn, go to the Loftus Stadium because that's where you belong. That's where you should be. That's where you should be driving to. Tell them at home you'll be there straight after the Banyana game. It's as simple as that. A U-turn, that's all I ask. Tonight they've got I suppose all of South Africa, man, crossing their fingers, crossing their toes, and they got all of it to do. And they look to overturn a 0-1 defeat that they suffered to Nigeria at the Paris Olympic qualifier on Friday when they meet in that return leg at Loftus, as it's going to be happening tonight now. 2-0 victory for Banyana will be enough. 2-0 is going to be enough for them to book a place in the Paris Olympic Games later this year. And while the Super Falcons just need to avoid a defeat in Tshwane this evening to progress, the coach, Desiree Ellis, said that they got to leave everything on the pitch to make sure that they are victorious.
Look, we always knew it was a two-legged match, and we wanted to get a positive result, in Nigeria. That didn't happen, but I thought we played better in the second half than what we did in the first half, and if we can build on from that, we're a ball-playing team, and we created some opportunities in Nigeria. We all know it's a big match. We all know that the winner over the two legs ultimately goes to the Olympics, and we want to be on that plane. So for us, it's a game where we have to put everything in. There's no second guesses. There's no second chances. It's a game where we have to score and try and get back the goal as early as we can. But we know we're coming up against a team that are leading 1-0, and we have to be ready for every eventuality in the way that in the way we think they might play. So we have to be ready for that. But it's a do or die.
It is a do or die, and good luck to the ladies there, Banyana. And as soon as we get the starting 11 for tonight, we will share that with you right here on the show. So don't change that dial at all. Talking about massive things happening, guys. I mean, the Olympic Games just, 108 days away from happening in Paris. And coincidentally, today is the 100th day in 2024. How quickly time flies. Massive game as well tonight in football. And to be specific, European football is actually very difficult. I was saying to my guest off air just a short while ago that, the crazy thing about UEFA Champions League is that, you got two games playing at the very same time. And guess what? You and I would love to watch both of them. I mean, how greater does it get? When Arsenal gets to play against Real Madrid, Arsenal gets to play by Bayern Munich. Real Madrid gets to play against Manchester City. How big does a football game have to be? Arsenal, Bayern. Yeah, right off Bayern. Tell them that they have given up the Bundesliga. And then see how they play in the UEFA Champions League. Real Madrid, Manchester City. Hey, Pep Guardiola saying that his side should not expect a repeat of their dominant win over Real Madrid last season. Big meeting tonight. Holders City beat their visitors Real Madrid 4-0. If you go back to last season, that's what the scoreline was. In May to win the semi-final. And that tie was 5-1 on aggregate. But according to Guardiola, he says that Carlo Ancelotti's team would present a different challenge tonight as they prepare for tonight's first leg at the Santiago Bernabeu.
Good as that this time?
It's difficult. Because beat Real Madrid 2 times in the same way is almost impossible. So beat once in this competition is difficult, imagine 2 in a row. So the target is not easy. And performing that well because they learn, they have pride, and they have to try to be smart. Tomorrow they're going to have to play and see what happens in the second leg.
One more in English, would they please?
Last season, 2 seasons ago, we were out for the last minutes here. Last season we won. Looks like a classic, between them and ourselves in the last years. But no, I don't have the feeling that is where it is last season. So he is right. The same managers, no long time ago. But new players they have new players. So completely different games. And of course, we have a little advantage for the fact the second leg is at home. Like we feel strong, we are incredibly confident, but we have to play first 90 minutes here. And here, the games are long for many reasons. Expect different games in the same game. They will be able to incredibly press high, so aggressive. They are so dangerous. If you are able to do a good process, they will drop. They will defend a low block. But after, everybody knows, not Pep. Everybody knows the strength for the transitions that they have, not just with Vinicius, for Rodrigo, Bellingham, Ronaldo, Valverde. So they have an incredible pace to do this. That's why you have to. But at the same time, you cannot come here just to control the game. You have to go here to try to hurt them, to punish them, to try to let them feel we are here to score goals. And in that mix, you have to read how you have to do, how you have to control it.
Right, flipping over now to familiar foe. Thomas Tuchel announcing his intention to leave Bayern at the end of the season over a month ago. But despite the increasingly desperate-looking situation, Bayern will not be making any rash decisions prior to their visit to North London.
Listen, I usually give everything for the team that I train, and I feel involved, and I feel privileged enough to be on that kind of level, and that has not changed. I do it of course, also for my pleasure and for my will to win and to prove myself on that kind of level. But no more headlines, please, tomorrow about other clubs or what else. I will put everything in for Bayern Munich until the last match. This is for absolutely sure, and that's what I demand of myself. And starts with tomorrow, but continues tomorrow here on highest level.
Right, talking about the highest level, though, Mikel Arteta, the Arsenal coach, was asked if the opposition's poor form was relevant for the European tie. Arteta had this to say.
Well, that's the best part of the season, for everyone who is still in life in Champions League and also fighting for something in Premier League and day leagues. So, yeah, he's excited, like you said, because Now is the decided games, now is the small details count. So yeah, now is everyone fit again, and then I hope everyone can give it extra and help the team. Well, I think no team in the world is perfect, and then also we are talking about Bayer. Everyone knows their history, they won a lot of titles in Champions League as well, and then also in the Bundesliga. So everyone knows the quality of the club, the amazing quality of the players. And then, it doesn't matter if they struggle last game or last 2 or 3 games, they still buy it, and then they can come and hurt us. So that's the thing we have to think and to have in our mind.
Good evening, Mr. Rob. It's Olympian here, and greeting to the Mr. Shoulders. Yeah. Football tonight. Oh my goodness. Champions League 1 year. You have Banyana playing their game against the Super Falcons, and the other as well. DSTV Premiership action. But man, Champions League, it is all in our minds, man. We are expecting 2 incredible games. It's tough to tell who's going to take the advantage. It is very, very tough to tell because those are 4 good teams that deserve to be in the semifinals of the Champions League. So all the best to all teams playing tonight and tomorrow night.
Ulufalang, thank you so much indeed. We'll talk about UEFA Champions League. He also reminds us that tonight's another big night as well for, Mamelodi Sundowns. They're going to be away to Cape Town Spurs. And I dare say the resurgent Cape Town Spurs. So it's top and bottom. That's as clear as daylight. Man, Sundowns continues to break records.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa. It's a big night, Mr. Marawa, for a Champions League. But I think many of us will be looking forward to a game between Real Madrid and Manchester City. But I strongly believe that Real Madrid will do well at home. I believe that they will win the game. It won't be easy. We know Manchester City are playing very well in the EPL, and they are one of the best teams in the world. So it will be a very, very, very difficult game for Real Madrid. But I have that hope that they will get the result at Santiago. And then coming to a game here, Arsenal and Bayern. I see Arsenal winning that game. Bayern Munich are very, very, very low in their confidence. I think things are not working out for coach Thomas Tuchel, and I think they met Arsenal at the wrong time because they are in the form of their life in the EPL. Thank you, Mr. Marawa. Good show.
Sibongile, thank you so much indeed. Also, I always say be wary of those that people think are not going to do well on big occasions.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Now, that game between Mamelodi Sundowns as well as Young Africans kind of sparked a bit of controversy. Their coach, Miguel Gamondi, he felt that he was robbed.
If we want to defend the credibility of the African football, starting for that, my friend.
Jerome David, CAF FIFA VAR instructor.
There's been no conclusive evidence to this date that shows that the ball had clearly crossed the goal line. A lot of guesswork, a lot of emotion, but definitely no conclusive evidence.
Winning the game, no problem, but winning clear, because was a rob.
People are basing the credibility of the match officials on these angles. They haven't produced any other evidence to suggest that the match officials got it wrong.
If the people, the Sundowns, is happy with that, it's okay. We're talking fair play. FIFA talking fair play.
#MSW. #MSW.
Yeah, fair play indeed. That's the only thing you can expect from my guest. Do send us your WhatsApp voice. Those questions or comments are more than welcome. Wow, it's been a long time since I saw this man, Well, they call him stocky, explosive. This gentle giant first made heads turn as a teenager. If you think back, and his son's gone on to shatter multiple barriers, lifting the coveted crown as one of South Africa's fastest men. That's how quickly he got to the studio. Now storming to victory in the 100-meter final at the Zone 6 Games in Lusaka, December 2012. Think back to that. And at that stage, he clocked 10.19 seconds, shattering the national junior record by 0.11. Shaved off 0.11. Now, his career certainly laced with gold, and the sight of him finishing races wrapped up in our country's flag has become ever, ever so common, and we hope to see more and more of that in the future. A true gentleman of the track, Akani Simbine, is my guest, ladies and gentlemen. Akani, good to see you, man. Welcome to the show, and welcome the first time in this building.
Thanks for having me, Rob. It's been a long time coming, but I'm finally here.
Hard man at work, eh?
Yeah, I'm always working, always pushing the grind, always making sure that I'm doing something. You know, I like doing that. I like being busy, and yeah, just happy to be here.
But later on, you're going to talk about your busy and your busyness and your busy schedule and your new busy direction. You're a CEO now, but I'm not going to touch on that yet. I'll leave that for later. You just said to me as you walked in, you took a deep breath. I think you've drank about 10 liters of water. And you said you're fresh from training.
Yeah.
How's that been?
Training has been good. I come straight from training, to just come talk to you. But yeah, training's been very good.
Yeah.
We are hitting marks that we're supposed to be hitting already in June. So coach is really happy. And yeah, we're looking forward to the season. I think this is a season where, for me, it's more of a redemption season. Coming from last year's false start, so it's more redemption, more hunger, more me trying to actually go to Olympics and make my podium finish, finally. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the year.
I hope you're not trying to be a lyricist or a rapper or somebody.
No.
You're saying more hunger because you go back to last year. You talk about Hungary. You talk about Budapest. You talk about the false start. You talk about that moment that you expected that slipped by just because of a false start. You had a look at the monitor. There was an option for you to race under protest.
Yeah.
You watched it and you confirmed to yourself that no, there's no need for this. I mean, how does that make you feel today? Here you are on the 9th of April, 2024.
It doesn't have an effect on me now.
Yes.
Like last year, at the time it was sad, it was frustrating, it was disappointing, but in that moment, I was very confused because I know in my head that I didn't false start. And when they showed me the reaction time, my reaction time was after the gun. So, but then we have those rules that says that if you react 0.1 after the gun, then it's a false start. And I had reacted after the gun, but it was just too fast according to our rules.
Sure.
So that's why I got the false start. So it was just like, I see it. It's the rules. I gotta respect the rules, and this is the game. It happens. It's happened to everyone. It's happened to Usain Bolt. So, amen. And plus, running under protest for me wasn't gonna make sense. Like, I'll run under protest, win the race, run a personal best, and then it doesn't count. So, I'd rather save my legs and then just get myself ready and prepare myself for the next year.
All right, going to pick up that conversation when we come back from the break. As I said, an exciting prospect for many, many years. We'll delve into what he's been going through currently. Yeah, he's just come off a meet over the weekend, or even the week before. Even the week before that. That's just how intense. He says they are where they are now, but a lot of people thought they would be there only in June. So when you put that together, it shows that they're ahead of time.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
Oh, Shane, do you have a sore throat? The Andalex range of lozenges offers two options. At the first signs of an irritated, scratchy throat, use Andalex lozenges for dual action, soothing relief. But for a painful, inflamed throat, use Andalex C lozenges for triple action, pain relief. Andalex, SA's #1 choice for a sore mouth and throat. Andalex lozenges are available at all leading pharmacies and supermarkets.
Just Andalex it.
Checker 6060 delivers the widest range of groceries and more daily. We bring the soul food and the bowls too. Let's go 6060. Meat and spices and fire lighters. Let's go 6060. Your bread and butter and the cheese cutter. Let's go 6060. Baby's nappies and we'll be snappy. Let's go 6060. Get the same in-store range delivered in 60 minutes. Let's go 6060.
Stay ahead of the curve in style. With special offers on a range of Suzuki models for you to choose from. This is guaranteed to be your best year yet. First car or upgrade? Suzuki's got you. Our cars are lined up and ready to give you more experiences, more fun, and more adventure. Hey, that's one resolution you can tick off, right? Visit suzukiauto.co.za to get more in 2024.
At Chamberlain's, there's something for everyone. From building supplies for the home renovators to garden essentials for the homemakers. From power tools for the DIY doers to painting supplies for the patio Picassos. We even have coffee for the slightly sleepy and snacks for the young ones. And for the ones who can never quite find what they're looking for, we have you covered too. With our promise to find and source whatever you need. Chamberlain's, famous for hardware since 1903.
Are you ready to spill the tea, sis? Well, hold that thought. Let's get together and spill the positivity on something sweeter. Oma Rusks. Picture this. Cozy chats with your besties over tea or coffee with a freshly opened box of Oma Rusks just waiting to be dipped. It's time to ditch the drama and spill the tea on something tasty. Oma makes snack time dipping delicious.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Jerome Damon, CAF FIFA VAR instructor, are you aware of how many cameras were used on the night?
So with VAR, it is mandatory that if the production uses 32 cameras, 32 camera angles must be available for the referee to use, to look through. Because it is, and the reason why this is so is because, can you imagine, television shows the one angle that VAR does not have. What a catastrophe that would be. That would justify everybody's concern that has been crookery, etc., etc.
Without a goal line technology, there can never be anything conclusive.
Yeah, so I would like everybody who says this was a clear goal to produce the camera angle that proves that this was a clear goal.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
Akani Simbine is my guest right here on hashtag MSW. Do send us your WhatsApp voice notes. I see already a lot of you have done that. Questions or comments, more than welcome. If you had to be brutally honest, when you go and you prepare yourself, like the European season is about to kick in, and you need that more than most. I saw your eyes pop up when I mentioned 108 days to go before the Olympic Games. I mean, that is crazy. You still have a lot to do. Diamond League in China, everything else still to try and accomplish. As an athlete under Athletics South Africa, SASCOG and so on, do you feel as one of our medal hopefuls in South Africa that, number one, Akani is getting the right support, whether it is financially or otherwise, to prep yourself so that when you go to the Olympic Games, we know that, here, silver, bronze, gold is a possibility.
I think that what is there is that the funding is there, the support is there, but the athletes don't know how to access it. The athletes are not informed on how to access that money or the funding or the support, Right. We actually, we talk as athletes and we go through and how do you do this? How do you do this? And we're like, dude, it's through SASCOG. But people will ask SASCOG and then SASCOG will tell you, no, go to ASA. Then ASA will say, no, go to SASCOG. Then athletes get a bit tired of going to, playing yo-yo with the federation, so they just end up not doing anything and then not getting the support. Then when you go to Europe, you're struggling because you don't have the funds to actually travel around Europe. You're not going to the right meets, so the meets are not paying for your travel. So you are funding yourself. So athletes are literally, if you're not in the top, you're on a minus. You start on a minus, you end on a minus, and then you start your season on a minus. And that stress, it doesn't help.
I was going to say, you shouldn't be getting stressed. I mean, if you have an Athletics South Africa and a SASCOG, I don't think an athlete like yourself should be stressing, or any other athlete should be stressing. There was a thing that was highly touted before. It was called OPEX.
Yes.
Operation Excellence. What happened to that?
OPEX is back. It started again last year. They have 3 tiers now. But OPEX runs from June to March. And then they relook at everyone that's on OPEX, and then they decide if they're going to fund athletes. But they don't think of how this athletic season starts. So the athletic season starts in October.
Yeah.
You start training preseason in October. Then you go till next year, September. But from October till now, athletes don't know if they're going to be funded going from now, April.
That's strange.
Very strange, because what do you do as an athlete? You've planned, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to go to China. I'm going to go to Stockholm. I'm going to go to London. But I don't know how I'm going to afford this. But I know maybe I might go, I might be on OPEX, or these guys are going to fund me, and then I'll be able to do it. But yeah, that's the thing. It's just, we don't know. No one knows anything. It's literally, oh, you guys, there you go.
But then, okay, let's say, when was your last OPEX funds that came through?
Last season.
Was it anything substantive?
Yeah, it helped. Like, it does help.
Give me a figure. I mean, these things are public knowledge. They're out there. They put them out at their, annual executive meetings or whatever it is, if they do have them these days. But was it anything substantive? I'm getting to a point. So yeah.
Yeah, like, I know tier one, we get 300K.
Yeah.
Tier 2 gets 150, and then I think tier 3 is they support little things like your funding, your traveling, but that's about it. There's those tiers, but it's up to that. But then if you want to actually do this thing right and properly, it's not enough.
I was going to say, your next meet, and we're talking about a big stage like Europe now, is as soon as when?
China. I'm racing in China on the 27th, so I leave South Africa right after Nationals.
Wow.
So
you go from Pietermaritzburg?
I'll go from Pietermaritzburg, I go home, pack another bag, the next day fly to China. And then I'm in China for that week. I race in China, then I come back here. But you must remember that I cover that. And I pay for my coach as well, his accommodation, his flights and everything.
So you cover for yourself and you cover for your coach?
And then
But you don't have a physio though?
My physio joins us only later on in Europe because we can't take a
third person.
A third person.
But then who covers for then the physio?
Me.
But you're a South African athlete. I mean, don't you go on the podium and sing Nkosi Sikelel?
Yes, we do.
You don't say Nkosi Akani, you sing the national anthem.
Yeah.
So where's the national support? That's what I'm trying to get at, is that we can't always be expected in 2024 to expect the athlete to go through the stress, the trauma of trying to find out how they get themselves. You guys have qualified, you've worked hard, you've got the times that are needed for qualification. So you Olympics bound, but then you've got nobody to support your journey. I mean, they can't be saying, no, we cover for your flights. Yes, if the Olympics are in Paris, how do they expect you to get to Paris? It's not a wonderful thing that they're doing for you or a privilege. No, it can't be. But then how does Akani then manage without that funding to then dig deep into your reserves to make that a possibility for the three of you?
I think for me, it's planning. Yeah. Like, so I sit down and plan. So I'll say, okay, I made X amount this year. From that X amount, I'll put away an amount for the next year. So I'll see what I spent on my traveling for coach and I and my physio and everything. And then I'll say, okay, I spent this much. Let me put that away. And then the rest I can use for my expenses this side. And then the rest I put for savings and investments and everything that I need to do. And then you just see it. Like, I think I'm just in a fortunate position but it's all because I've worked hard and I've been blessed with a good contract, good shoe contract, and I've been blessed with other sponsors, Yeah. So I use that funding, that money to fund me. I see there's this saying where they say for us athletes, you have to see yourself as a business, and you have to put your money back in, But if you don't have to put your own money back into you, that helps a lot because you're not thinking of, okay, I'm taking out so much of my money to put back into myself, but I'm not making that money back.
And you never will. And your endorsements, for me, should be the bonus. They shouldn't be the main carrier of who you are and what you do. For me, that is a bonus for striking gold, for being able to reach peak excellence and being the premium athlete that you are. That has come with a lot of hard work. And therefore, I mean, it takes me back. When he was a great Kaizer Chiefs #1 goalkeeper and came for an interview with me, and I asked him, I said, dude, listen, you're great at what you're doing. Who's your sponsor? And he says, no, I've got a glove sponsor. I was like, that's crazy. Gloves are your tools. That's what you should be having anyway. You can't then say gloves, you got a sponsor for that. those are your daily tools. You know, and that forced me to pick up my phone, called Jasmine Matlachane and said, Jasmine, here's the guy I need you to look after because it can't be. He's our national treasure and he's being treated like that. And, you know, that's when Itumeleng went on then to get more and more and more of the sponsors, as you say. But what disappoints me, though, Akani, is that they would be, and they're probably listening right now, people that are working in Athletics South Africa, that are working at SASCOC, getting their monthly salaries, bonuses at times, for doing what? For doing nothing. You know, for literally doing nothing. Athletics South Africa is about athletes. You know, SASCOG is about athletes. It's not about people's individual pockets. And when a Kevin Anderson goes and does extremely well at Wimbledon and he's a South African tennis player, then we all say, he's our South African. And, you know, Kevin will say, I am, but, you know, not quite. You guys didn't do anything to help me to get to where I am. How then do you manage with all of these that are coming up, Akani, to survive? I know you're saying that you've tried to budget, but surely that's not good enough. Are you expecting anybody else to hop on and say, I am here, I'm willing to help, or even Athletics South Africa, or even OPEX?
Yeah, so the OPEX will come, I think, because I've ticked off all the boxes for the criteria to make OPEX. Okay. But it's also trying to get more funding just to help, you know, so I'm able to travel with my physio and my coach to every meet. Because most of the time I just take my coach with, and my physio has to stay behind because, you know, the meter says like we can't bring two people, or you have to cover for your other person and whatnot. But I've reached out to a lot of people, man. I've reached out to a lot of people asking if they can support the dream, you know, the Olympic dream, and for me. And I've had people saying yes, you know, people saying they can't, and people say they'll look into it, you know. But there's been good response and there's no response. But, you know, I'm gonna keep trying, you know, because I think it's something that I'm doing for myself because I want to make sure I'm 100% prepared for the Olympic Games, and so that I can get the medal. But I also want to kind of make sure that I'm doing it and I step onto the podium, and I make sure that I step onto the podium being proud to be South African, being proud to represent SASCOC, being proud to represent Athletics South Africa, being proud to represent my team and everyone back home. I want to stand on the podium knowing that I got the support, and be proud when I sing the national anthem, saying, you know what, as much as I can say that I did the race, I did the training, but the support did come from X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. And it's obviously home. Werner Prinsloo is one person that comes to mind. It's been over, a decade now?
Yeah.
One individual who's been at the helm, making sure that you get your peak performance best. I mean, is this year now that year where you get that elusive, very elusive international gong?
I think it is. Last year, it just missed me. I had beaten everybody. It was just for me to get to the final, make sure I do the job, and then that happened. And then this year is going really well. I'm in a good state of mind, and everything is going well. I'm healthy. Training is going good. The training group is in a good spirit, you know. So we are building to something really great, and we feel it in our training sessions that, okay, you know, I'm doing really well, and I'm pushing myself, and my head is in the right place. So everything has to we're putting the puzzles in.
Yes.
For me to actually go out there and do the best that I can.
But what is it about Werner, though, that's made him a consistent?
I think coaches, man, he's an awesome person. He's an awesome human. Let's start there, you know. He's literally learned the game with me. Like, I started this thing late high school. And then I joined him, and then we didn't know anything about professional running. Didn't know nothing. I didn't know I could travel the world. I didn't know about the Olympic Games. I didn't know anything, you know. And he said, okay, we're going to learn this thing together. I'll travel with you, I'll move with you, and I will teach myself and I'll educate myself more so that I can put myself in a better position to be a more better coach for you. He did his education, he spoke to other coaches, got his knowledge, got his information, and he's literally implemented in me. And like, I am the fruits of what he's put in, you know, and I'm just glad that I'm able to share this with him and travel with him and see the world and experience Olympics, experience world champs with him, and get our medal that we've been working for the last years.
Absolutely. I shared everyone clapping around here who's listening to the show. I appreciate that because I see the drive in you. I see the fire in the eyes. I see that yearning, that desire, that need, that want to say, guys, you know what? I'm going to step it up.
Good evening, Robert. You're speaking to Lenga Modiso, originally from Kopan. Rob, I'd like to ask Akani Simbine, Rob, are they getting enough support from SASCOG and ASA in preparation for the Olympic? Because we always hear stories that athletes are not getting enough support from the federation and the SASCOG as well going into the Olympic. Yes, we have heard some stories with Mukoka when they are preparing for the most major races representing the country. Thank you a lot, Robert.
Thank you so much indeed. I think we've kind of partly answered that. The pressure, though. I mean, I can't still be asking about pressure because I see on social media a lot of people saying that, you're going to be stepping it through medal performance. Are you under pressure to deliver and so on?
I don't think I have that pressure anymore. I used to have that pressure and run with the pressure of everybody saying, we believe in you. You need to run like this. You need to bring that medal back home. I think right now, the way I am mentally and emotionally, I think that pressure is different. I have my own pressure that I put on myself. And that pressure is, I know what I need to do. I know the work that I need to put in. And I know what I need to do when I get to the track, and that is to race. And that's what I love doing. And racing and trying to get to the line first, So for me, the pressure is not pressure in a negative sense. It's pressure that I put on myself for a positive sense. Then the rest of the external pressure that is there, I look at it and I'm like, okay, it's support. It's people backing me. It's people supporting me and believing in what they see I can do. So rather take that and say, okay, these people believe in me. Let's take it in a positive way and say, okay, let's fuel me. Fuel me to go out there and have that extra drive and say, you guys, you know what? I ran on this track, but I ran with you. I ran with your wishes. I ran with your dreams for me. And that is like the extra 0.1% that I need to get to the line first.
Is the 0.2% marriage?
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time.
#MSW. That's Harold Ned Forest Hotline, Rowan on the line.
Harold, help. Last year, I forgot my wife's birthday.
Whoops, let me guess. Things got a bit hairy, hey?
No, the exact opposite. She swapped my shampoo for hair remover. There's not a hair left on my head.
Ooh, smooth.
Please help me get it right this year.
Oh, you can get a lot more than right. Just visit Net Florist and order the biggest birthday bouquet you can. And your head will be all taken care of. Net Florist, it's easy to show you care.
And we would buy 500 cars and we would buy 500 more. So sell your car for the best price and we won't think about it twice. We buy cars, we buy cars. Da-da-dun-da-da-dun-da-da-dun-da-da-da. We buy cars, we buy cars. Da-da-dun-da-da-dun-da-da-dun-da-da-da.
We Buy Cars, the easiest way to sell your car by far.
Spurs Family Club rewards you with vouchers and more for doing, well, everything you already love doing at Spur. And now you could even win one of 3 Toyota Starlets. Just sign up to the Spur Family Club and order anything you like. Cause this ain't a participating products only kind of vibe. Download the app and every time you spend 250 Rand at Spur, you get an entry to win a car. Cause there's no such thing as too much pink sauce or too many entries into winning a new car. Spur, people with a taste for life. T's and C's apply.
So I insured my car with My Way, and my nights out have been way more epic. Because with WeDrive Take Me Home service, someone drives me and my car home. I book a WeDrive trip on the My Way app, and just like that, I get a personal driver. Now that's value for money.
Move for value. Move to MyWay today and get 6 free WeDrive trips with MyWheel's comprehensive insurance. For a quote, visit myway.co.za or SMS MOVE to 44430. MyWay is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. Standard rates and T's and C's apply.
If you don't choose, you lose. So, let's chat. Make a smart choice now between the Oppo A78, Honor 90 Lite, Vivo Y36, Huawei Nova Y91 or Samsung Galaxy A35. Brilliant devices, all at the great price of 469 Rand per month over 36 months on a 2.6 gig Red Cord top-up plan. Deal valid for new contracts till 6 May at Chats Connect stores. SA's largest independent dealer channel exclusive to Vodacom. T's and C's apply. You snooze, you lose.
What would you do if Astron Energy matched your payday? Grab a new generator for Ukoko. Help pay off your kids' school fees. Finally go on that dream family holiday. Or put a deposit down for your wedding. All you need to do is fill up with Cortec for 500 Rand or more at any Astron Energy forecourt and you can stand a chance to match your payday each week until the 5th of May 2024. Astron Energy Rewards members get an extra 5,000 Rand bonus if they win. T's and C's apply.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Now, that game between Mamelodi Sundowns as well as Young Africans kind of sparked a bit of controversy. Their coach, Miguel Gamondi, he felt that he was robbed.
If you want to defend the credibility of the African football, starting for that, my friend.
Jerome Damon, CAF FIFA VAR instructor.
There's been no conclusive evidence to this date that shows that the ball had clearly crossed the goal line. A lot of guesswork, a lot of emotion, but definitely no conclusive evidence.
Winning the game, no problem, but winning clear, because was not a game, was a rob.
People are basing the credibility of the match officials on these angles. They haven't produced any other evidence to suggest that the match officials got it wrong.
If the people, the Sundowns, is happy with that, it's okay. We're talking fair play. FIFA talking fair play.
#MSW.
#MSW. Good evening, Mr. Rob. It's Olympian here, and good evening to the Mr. Shoulders. I also love to welcome Mr. Akani Simbine there. I just want to pose a question. Given the debacle from the World Athletics Championship, where not a single athlete came back home with a gold medal, I'd like to ask, does he feel, from an athlete perspective, representing the country, does he feel that, the powers that be, being in Athletics South Africa, do they give their athletes the support that they need and the support that they deserve? In whichever facet, maybe financially or whichever perspective, does he feel, in his honest opinion, does he feel that Athletics South Africa actually has the best interest of all athletes, because what we saw in the World Athletics Championship last year, it really, really left a bitter taste in our mouths, and we all don't know what to expect in this year's Paris Olympic Games if we couldn't conjure a single medal in the World Athletics Championship last year. What more with the Olympics? Does he feel that ASA gives the athletes the support that they need and the support that they deserve? That's what I want to find out. Great show as always. Thanks.
Olafalang, thank you so much indeed. The support you need and the support that you do deserve. Important one, maybe another final way of wrapping that conversation, because you got so many more questions.
I think we're just in a broken system.
Yeah.
And I think the athletes and the federations, we don't communicate. So the federation, so as an athlete, this is how it goes. Like for me and my coach, we plan our season. We plan, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to want to compete. This is how we're going to want to race. This is our training schedule. Then the federation doesn't ask about that. They don't want to know. They don't ask about how our training schedule looks like. What do you want to do? What are our goals? What are our plans? Then you'll say, okay, if I'm not getting any word from the federation, I'm just going to do it myself.
Yeah.
Because I can't wait on the federation. Because if I wait on the federation, I'm going to delay my season. I'm going to stress. I'm going to struggle. So rather just do it myself, And I think it's just a broken system that needs to be fixed.
How do we fix it?
Clean it up, I guess. Clean up and actually engage with the athletes. Engage with the athletes and actually let the athletes like guide you to what they actually need. Because
why don't the bulk of the administrators there be former athletes?
They are.
I know, and I've hosted one or two.
Yeah.
So it points in the right direction, but I still think not the key positions are filled.
I think they're not filled, but they don't fill them with the right people.
Yeah.
I think for us, we need the right people running the system, the right people looking to engage with the athletes so that they can actually guide them on what do the athletes actually need. Not what does the federation need, it's what the athletes need. And if you figure out what the athletes need, the federation now can adjust themselves and say, okay, athletes need this. We can just build a general, system for the athletes to work in and then tailor it specifically, for the athletes that need tailoring. But it's I think it's also just too hard for them. It's just too difficult. So the system that they're in, they just like, okay, it's a broken system. We understand, but we can't fix it.
Let's leave it broken because it suits us. Hey, they're going to complain every day. They're going to phone, hey, Talk Radio 702. They're going to complain about potholes. So, let the potholes continue because, tomorrow they're going to complain about something else. And I think the same with sport. It's like, it's broken, it's dysfunctional. Yeah, wonderful. Let's keep it dysfunctional. All right, let me go to Lushaga from Pretoria. Lushaga, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Robert. How are you?
I'm very, very good. You want to chat to the champ?
Right. Hi, Akani.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Thank you.
No, honestly, I think besides whatever that is happening in the sport, I'm just here to just really give you your flowers for really being that guy in track and field for South Africa. I mean, you are the true definition of consistency and perseverance for over a decade. I mean, I've been watching you since I was in high school. Now I'm like an almost halfway to 60, years old, and it's still that guy on the final, 100-meter men final at every major competition. So, Robert, honestly, I think that should really tell you something. We get the complaints, we have the problems, we see it. I mean, there's always problems, but I think, honestly, let's just focus on the positive and what this guy is really doing for this country. Thank you.
Lushaga, wait for the response, though, because you've made this man blush a bit. But beautiful call. Hey?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lushaga. Thank you for the support and actually acknowledging, the work that I put into the game, This is something that I've given my all to. I've given everything. Literally, I've sacrificed family for this. And just to know that, you guys are seeing the work that I'm doing and appreciating it and, supporting me. We've had ups, we've had downs, and you still stuck by me. So for me, it's a big thank you and a great appreciation. Everybody that supports me, everybody that backs me, and everybody that gives me my flowers. It's for me, I can never say thank you enough, and we still keep going, There's 2 more Olympics left in me, so let's go.
I love that. Lushaga, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very, very much. It's a very positive call coming through. And I think there you have it. Anybody who's a writer, sports journalist, wanting breaking news away from political courts, there you have it. Akani Simbine has said at 10:07 tonight that he has 2 more Olympic Games still to go.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to Akani Simbine, the pride of the nation. Akani, I just want to compliment you with the manner in which you handled the disqualification at Budapest. Very professional of you, how you conducted the interviews and how you were able to tackle the questions that were posed post that incident. And I just hope that you have put that at the back of your mind in preparation for the Olympics. But my question to you is that how much have you as an athlete had to raise in preparation for the Olympics? Because I know athletes struggle a lot financially to prepare themselves. They end up having to dig from their own savings or generate funding from certain fundraising initiatives. Or have you received any backing from the OPEX program that is of SACSCOC a program that helps athletes? I just want to hear your views around it because it's key in terms of understanding where the athletes are and how much has being invested to them preparing for the Olympics. Thank you so much, Tebogoye, and good luck to you when you go to the Olympics.
Tebogo, thank you very much indeed. I think a lot of these came through while we were on that topic of OPEX and so on. But if anything, that Tebogo, who's a major, football fan, athletics fan, rugby fan, cricket fan, has had to say, and especially the positives about you.
No, thank you, Tebogo. Thank you for highlighting those things. I think for us, it's everybody tries to do their best to put themselves in the best position, and for me, it's literally what I'm doing now. I'm doing today. I'm doing for my future. I'm literally putting everything I can behind me going to Paris, behind me and my team going to Paris, behind me and my team traveling on the Diamond League circuit together, so that those little bits of pieces, those little pieces of this puzzle that I'm building here can build this picture that I have of me standing on a podium at the end of the 100-meter final.
No African has won the 100 meters in the major international events.
Yep.
Are we going to change that? Are you going to change
I am definitely going to change it.
We're going to change it.
That's been the goal from day one, be the first African to win a 100-meter Olympic medal, and be the 100-meter Olympic champion.
Who's standing in your way right now?
I don't know. Myself.
I love that.
Rob, good evening. And good evening to Akani. My name is Westin Musime. The sport administration, or rather administrators of this country, never stop to amaze me. People are getting fed checks while our heroes are struggling. What happens to someone who doesn't have information like Akani, who is not well connected, meaning such talent go to waste? I think such people need to be exposed, Rob. We can't have people who are just pickpocketing fed checks, whereas the sport is going down. Thank you very much, and I'm wishing Akani all of the best. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man, pickpocketing. I love that word. Love it, pickpocketing. You've got to pickpocket the times, though. I'm not taking anything away from what our caller said. I think in the main, again, we've touched on a lot of what he's saying, and I fully agree. About the administrators on X, Peña says, Akani needs a medal in Paris. He says, well, I think that he kind of gets stage fright or something at these big events. It'll be great games for me if we medal in the 100 meters, 4x100 meters, and maybe the 200 meters. It says, I think these Americans come with big energies and they intimidate them. Do you get intimidated by the Americans?
No, not even.
The Jamaicans?
Not even. For me, it's not even a thing of intimidating. I think I intimidate them. It's. I'm at a point where I have edged myself into sprinting. When I step into a starting lineup and they see that I'm there, they know I'm there to show up. Yeah. A lot of people on the circuit have gained to respect me. I got onto the circuit the hard way. I got onto the circuit having to beat the big guys.
Sure.
And they threw me into my first Diamond League was literally with Justin Gatlin, Tyson Gay, Asafa Powell, and they threw me in the deep end. My coach said, swim. Yeah. Figure it out. Figured it out. That was the first time I got intimidated. And after that, I told myself, these people are human. They're like me. So why must I get intimidated? So it's nothing of stage fright. It's nothing of getting intimidated. It's just who's better on the day. And, I've made my mistakes. I've learned from my mistakes, But it's more of making sure that I'm best and I'm at my best version when I go on the line and they say, on your marks.
You swam, man. You swam. They said, swim with it. Hey, and as you know, Daki's on swimming, boss.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to the MSW shareholders. And special greetings to Akani. What a true patriot. What a true patriot. Listening to him speak, even with the challenges, the one thing that drives him is to make the country proud. Even all the challenges that is enduring and all the challenges and all the financial issues that is facing because of the lack of supports thereof. And even though we know he's a top athlete in the country, I'm just want to commend his patriotic spirit. Long may it continue, and I certainly hope that something does change and then he does get the sponsors, because we know his capabilities and we know how good he is on the track. And yeah, I just wish him everything of the best. I can only do that. I wish there's more that I could do, but I can only give him support from wherever I am and just hope that he excels, because he's a true patriot of the country.
Smooth, thank you so much indeed, true patriot. Your response.
Smooth, thank you, man. For me, it's also just nice to hear that, you know, people see the work that I'm doing for the country.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just for me, but it's for the country. But at the same time, you know, we wear our national colors. You know, when you step on the line, you're at the World Championships, you're at Olympic Games. You're proud to be a South African athlete, standing on the line, standing at the Olympic final, standing at the World Champs final. Like for me, I've been the only African doing that for the last 8 years until Tebogo and Nomayala came into the picture, you know, and it was a huge thing. You know, I was like, you know, I'm the only African doing this thing, and I'm the only African constantly here, you know, fighting against the world for South Africa, for Africa. And I've been doing well. I've been there knocking on the door to get that medal. And it's not just for me, it's for Africa, it's for South Africa. And it's just to show the world that, you know, as Africans, as South Africans, we can go do great things to the world. We can show ourselves and be proud of who we are and where we come from. And, you know, let the world know that, you know, where we come from, we can come to the world and step up and be the best in the world.
No, absolutely. And the relay, which has been so well contested and sometimes botched up by South Africa, are we preparing enough for the relay? Are we doing enough? Is it too late? Can we still do more? If we are not, what is delaying us?
Look, Robert, like I'm going back to the system.
Yes.
System is broken, you know, and with the relay, we've now entered into a phase where we, as the athletes, complained, like we grouped together, complained, said we need to change this thing. And we said we need training camps. We need time as a team together, you know, and ASA has tried to get us together, but the admin of getting all the athletes together beat them. And I don't think like they communicated properly. Like for me, it was a thing. I even told them, I said to them, like, you guys had a perfect plan.
Yeah.
But the only thing that you guys didn't do well is speak to the coaches. Because the coaches, my coach runs my program. I don't run my program.
Sure.
Coach tells me, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this. And I'm sure it's the same for everybody. Now, ASA comes in and says, on this date, you're going to have a relay camp. Now, coach has already planned my training program that's going to load me. And if I go to that relay camp, then I might get injured.
Yeah.
Now I get injured, I cannot run for myself, I cannot run for the relay team. So it's just that the intention is good, but the execution of the intention is not the one.
I want 4x100 meters to excel. I want South Africans to be up and, you know, celebrating.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's our thing.
Yeah.
What would it take? Literally in 10 seconds, we're running out of time. In fact. What would it take?
I think for us to all buy into the plan.
Yeah.
Because we need to buy into the fact that we want to win. We want to be able to be a relay team that actually medaled at a World Championship or at the Olympic Games. I think it's the fact that the guys need to just buy into it, but it needs to come from the federation.
Sure.
Federation communicating with us, federation saying, okay, guys, we can do A, B, C. What are you guys going to do? And then you talk to the coaches. Coaches plan with the federations that this is our training blocks, this is how
and
we
align
can
the
go,
program.
And align the program.
Very quickly, all I want is a time. You're at the Olympic Games, 100 meter. It's the final. What time are you seeking to clock?
Whatever time takes to win.
What time? Give me a time. You've done 9.89 back in 2016. Give me a time.
Whatever
what
time takes to win, man. I need to get the African record. So if the African record wins the Olympic Games, then it's that.
Remind us of that African record.
African record standing at 9.77 right now. So
you'll clock 9.6. Thank you very much.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time.
#MSW.